Hi, welcome to my channel, Vinyasa with Wisby. I am Wisby. We're gonna do some yoga. Yay! Today we're gonna do a kind of just gentle, easy flow, just to get you wiggling in the morning. Super beginner friendly. If you're looking for a bit more of a workout, then this video is probably not for you. It's gonna be pretty chilled. I'm also gonna teach you how to do half moon pose correctly in it as well, which is also completely beginner friendly. All you'll need is a big book, so or a block if you actually have a yoga block. I don't, so I'm using a book. Yeah, cool. So just to start, we're going to sit down in comfortable position in wherever you. Yeah, I'm in the middle of my mat. You don't need to be in the middle of your mat. Be wherever. Um, so just close down your eyes and bring your hands to your knees. You just want to try and make sure that you're really grounding down through your sit bones. So you might need to, if you have a fleshy body like I do, you might need to just pull away the flesh to ground down into your sit bones. And you want to use that grounding down through the sit bones to really pull the length up through your spine. Just close your eyes. And take some nice slow, deep breaths. In through the nose. And out through the nose. Really try to imagine you're being pulled up through the crown of your head. And then you're just going to gently start to make some circles with your head. Really slow, gentle movements. Bring your chin all the way down to your chest. And really, you can keep your eyes closed just to really feel into the movement. Nice deep breaths. And then change direction. Just really feel the vertebrae in your cervical spine and the vertebrae that are in your neck just start to loosen up. And then on your next inhale, you want to draw both arms up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then interlace your fingers, push your palms away from you. Look up. And then you're slowly going to draw the palms out in front of you. And draw your chin down towards your chest. Inhale, draw the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, draw the hands out in front. Chin comes down to the chest. And then just take your hands down onto your knees. We're just going to start to make some circles with the shoulders. The movement is actually coming from the hips. Just taking nice big circles, just warming up the spine and moving the spine in a way that we normally don't move it. We normally just stay in the vertical plane of movement, so this might feel a little bit strange. And then we're just going to change direction. And then we want to just take the hands out in front of us. Right hand's going to come down towards the floor. We're going to push the fingers down. Just going to warm up into the wrist. And then take the fingers up and gently just push the fingers towards you. Really important to. We're not going to do much on the wrist, but just always warm up your wrists before practicing yoga. And just shake it out, and then just take it to the other side. So fingers facing you, and then pointing them down to the floor. And shake it out. You can interlace the fingers and just give it a little wiggle, a little boogie. And then you want to inhale, draw the arms up. And as you exhale, I'm going to mirror you here. So take your right hand down towards the mat, left hand overhead. Breathing from the sit bone all the way up through each of the ribs into the armpits, through the arms. Nice big stretch overhead. Inhale, draw it up. On exhale, take it down to the other side. Inhale, draw it back up. You're just going to walk your hands behind you, fingertips facing, and just gently lift your hips up away from the mat. You can let your head hang down behind if it feels good, otherwise just keep the chin towards the chest. Gently release down, and then walk the hands back onto the knees. We're going to take a couple of seated cat-cows. I love cat-cow because it's another really nice way to move your spine in a movement that we don't normally do, so it feels really good. But sometimes doing it on the knees is not good, and it's not good for everyone. A lot of us have got dodgy knees, so doing it seated is just perfect. So you want to bring your hands to your knees. Inhale, draw your chin up towards the sky. So you inhale. And then exhale. Round your shoulders, draw your chin down towards your chest. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round it. Inhale, look up. Exhale, round the shoulders, draw your chin down towards the chest. And then just bring it back to neutral. You want to draw your arms back up. Inhale. And then you're going to take the right palm down between the shoulders and take your left hand onto the elbow and just gently try and push the arm down the back. So really trying to push that palm down between the shoulder blades. And you can use your head to just lean into the arm if you want to. Just getting a nice stretch in the shoulder, the outside, the armpit. Breathe into the stretch. And then we're just gently releasing. And just take the hands to your knees. Just give yourself a little wiggle side to side. And then you just want to walk your hands out in front of you. So you're on your fingertips and you're walking out in front. Keep the gaze forward, long spine. Keep your bottom grounded down to the earth. And then if you want to drop your head down. But we're not rounding the back. We're keeping the spine long. And the head comes down. Kind of touching the insides of adjusting your biceps. Inhale, walk the hands back. And then you're going to take your arms up, look to the fingers, and then place the left hand down between the shoulder blades. Take your right hand to the elbow, and then just gently push the hand down between the shoulders. You can use your head to just push back. And just gently release. Come over onto all fours. Take the toes together, wide legs as wide as the mat, and push your bum back to your heels. Reach your fingertips forwards. Draw your forehead down to the mat. Take some nice deep breaths. Child's pose, Balasana. You're going to walk your hands back towards you. Push your hands into the mat. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips up to come into downward facing dog. Take some nice deep breaths here. If it's too much on your resting down dog, just come onto your forearms. And keep lifting your tailbone up towards the sky. If you're on your hands, spreading the fingers wide on the mat. You can keep a nice deep bend in your knees. That feels good. And just walk forwards and backwards. And to lift up your right leg behind you to come into a three-legged dog, and then just slowly bring that foot between the hands at the front of your mat. And then you want to spin your back foot so it's parallel to the short side of the mat. Bend your front knee and then use your core to lift yourself up into Warrior Two. So you really want to try and open your hips so that they're parallel to the long side of the mat here. Push the foot down into the outside. Push it down into the outside of the foot. Bend the front knee and open your arms. Make sure they're nice and even. And try and keep that nice bend in your front knee. And you want to make sure that the knee doesn't come forwards over the ankle. We're always, however deep the bend, always pulling the knee behind the ankle to protect the joints here. Look over your front fingers. This is a great pose for strengthening your thighs, strengthening your glutes. So you're really trying to tuck your glutes in and under as well. And it's really great for opening the hips too. Looking forward. Now we're going to play with our half moon pose. So push into your front foot. Just walk the back foot up. And you want to play with getting balance here. And then you want to just grab your book or your block, if you're lucky enough to have a block. And we want to bring the hand just off the front of the mat. And the hand's on the book. And the back foot is out, so toes are pointing out to the side. And you're trying to draw open your chest. So you're just standing on one leg. The back leg up. Try and bring it up as high as the hip. And you can bring that left hand to the hip. To the hip for balance. If you fall out, it's absolutely normal and fine. Just lift it back up. And then if you feel stable enough here, you can open up the arm to the sky. And then just gently take that left foot down to the front. You're going to bend your knees, fold forwards, over the legs. Take opposite elbows. And just gently wiggle side to side. I'm going to inhale, look forward. So you can bring your hands to your shins or to your thighs. You want to try and keep a nice straight spine here. So we're making an L shape with the body. And then exhale, bend your knees, fold forwards. And inhale to slowly rise all the way up. And draw your hands together. If you're feeling keen for a little back bend, take a little back bend. And then draw your hands down to your heart and by your side. So we're going to go down the way we just came back in. So take a nice big inhale. Stretch up Hands together, and then draw them down through the heart. Exhale, hinge from the hips, fold forwards, bend your knees, drawing your belly down towards your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, look forward. If your hands aren't reaching the floor, you can bring your hands to your shins, to your thighs. And then we're going to exhale, bend the knees, place the hands down on the mat, step back, come into a plank, and you can bring your knees down. And try and make sure that the elbows are under your shoulders. And then we're bending the elbows to draw the chest down between the hands, all the way down to the mat. Take the hands down a little bit further towards the rib cage, and then tickling the ribs with your arms. You're going to lift your chest, push up to come into cobra. Look up. And then as we exhale, you're going to tuck your toes under. Then slowly bring your hips up towards the sky. Again, just pedal back and forwards. And take nice deep breaths. And then to lift the left leg up this time, and slowly with control place the foot between the hands. Spin the right foot and turn my back on you now. And bend the front knee. Open the arms for warrior two on this side so you can see what it looks like from the other side. So you really want to be squeezing your bum cheeks together, bending that front knee, pushing into the back, outside edge of the back foot, looking over the front arm. And then we're going to straighten the leg. Just walk the foot in. Look for your book or your block. And then play with getting the balance on that back foot. Taking your left hand to the front of the mat. And lifting up the back foot. So we're trying to stack the hips on top of one another here. Pushing that foot, the back foot, as if you're pushing against the wall that's behind you. And then you can keep your hand on the hip, or if you want to open up towards the sky, so fully open your chest. And that's also an option. But try to keep a little micro bend in the standing leg here. And then we're gently going to release the foot down. Fold forward, bend the knees. Take opposite elbow, swing side to side. Inhale, look forward. Exhale. Place the hands on the mat. Step back. We're in our plank. You can drop the knees. Make sure the wrists are under the elbows, which are under the shoulders. And then slowly drop your chest down between the hands. We're just lying down on the mat here. You're going to just walk the forearms off the mat. That's a lie. Off the mat. Just walk the forearms out in front of you. And then inhale. Just lift your chest up. Try and keep your legs squeezed together. And then pushing into your forearms, you're just going to tuck your belly up away from the mat. So you can see that I'm like tucking my lower back, just pulling the thighs off the mat and the belly. You're really going to feel it in your core. See any bit of super hard work in this sequence. And then gently release. Walk your hands back towards your ribcage. Lift your chest up away from the mat to come into cobra. And then come onto your knees. Just take the knees as wide as the mat. Draw the toes together and push your hips back to your heels. If this doesn't feel comfortable, you can also bring both the legs together to reach forward to take your child's pose this way. Just play around with whatever feels most comfortable. If you're not really opening the hips, it can be really uncomfortable to do it with wide knees, so it's completely up to you. Just keep reaching forwards with the fingertips. Keep breathing. And then we're just going to walk up onto all fours and then just slowly make it up onto the knees. And from here, you're going to take your right leg out to the side, take your arms up towards the ceiling or the sky, and then just take your right arm down, stretch over. Inhale, draw back up, and take it to the left side. Inhale, draw back up. Just come down onto the knees and onto the bum. Just going to lift your legs up. I know I said one piece of footwork, maybe more than one. You can hold the legs in with your hands, or you can let your hands go. Really try to draw your thighs in towards your body here in the Navasana boat pose. And then we're slowly going to place the feet down, come down to the mat, reach for the soles of the feet, the heels with your fingertips. And once you can find them, you're going to squeeze your thighs together, squeeze your glutes, and gently lift up your hips from the mat. If you want to get a bit jazzy here, you can lift up your arms overhead, draw them back down, and keep doing that. Or just keep your hips lifted, or if you want to interlace the fingers under and squeeze your shoulders together, you can do that too. Just keep imagining you've got the book between your legs, squeezing it together. So we're really squeezing the glutes and the thighs here. And then you're going to release down to the mat. Just let the legs fall out one side, fall out the other side. Draw your knees into your chest. Take a little rock side to side. Just draw the feet up towards the sky. Toes facing you. You can hold your legs or you can let the hands go. Use your core to keep them lifted. Try and draw the toes towards your face. Just reverse the blood flow. Release the breath. And you're slowly going to draw the legs all the way down to the mat. Go super slow. Really engage your core. And you get to the bit where it starts to shake and it's difficult. Hold a bit longer than you want to. And then gently release. You're just going to close your eyes and let your legs come as wide as the mat. Arms out by the side. And just take some nice, slow, deep breaths. So just take a couple of minutes in Shavasana. And just let your head become heavy on the mat. Melt your shoulders down beneath you. Just let the breath go. Just fully relax down into the mat. And take a nice big inhale, stretch overhead. Just draw your knees in towards your chest and just let them fall over to one side. And make your way up to your seat. You can keep your eyes closed, bring your hands to your knees. Nice long spine. Just pay attention to how you're feeling. What's changed in your body. And then you can